Top of the mountain to all of you. I am Colby, and in today's video, I am backpacking solo in the heat. Now, if you don't believe me, it's hot out here. Let me pan around and show you this parking lot. My car is the only one in this giant parking lot. Now, it's actually not too bad. It's probably around 95, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we don't have a lot of time till the sun starts to dip, and I planned that on purpose. I'm doing a quick overnighter out here in the Superstition wilderness, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've never camped in weather this hot before, so it might be a miserable night. We will see if I can sleep or not, but I'm up for a challenge, something new. Now it's interesting because we are in monsoon season. The monsoons hit us pretty hard in these last few weeks, so there's a good chance we'll have a lot of water down here, but I did bring all my water just so I didn't have to filter in things, and my hike is not very far. But behind me, you don't see very many clouds, but if I spin us around, you'll see the storm is cooking, the storm is brewing right behind me. I can see sheets of rain coming down. I can hear the thunder cracking. So we'll see if I get a little weather. I'm kind of hoping I do, but usually I do not like to backpack in weather. But today, since this is just a short trip, I'm kind of looking forward to a little weather. So we'll see if this comes down on me or not, or if it reaches me. But we're basically coming down into this canyon. We're gonna go down another canyon. And the area we are hiking in right now is called Hackberry Springs. And I will be camping right next to Hackberry Spring. It's a lovely little area. There was a fire that blew through this area a couple years ago, so a lot of it's been burnt down, but the area right around the spring still looks great with big trees and a nice spot to put a tent. So this is probably one of the areas I have hiked around and explored around the most out of all the Superstitions, just because it's easy to get to. A lot of cool features and rocks and different mines and arches and things out here. So I've explored all these different mountains that you see out here in the distance, but we are gonna just be doing a short hike, and then we're gonna camp tonight and make some good food tonight. And there is a solid chance when I say I'm soloing it today, like it'll just be me. It is hot out here. I don't imagine anybody else is as crazy as me to come out here and camp in the heat. So we will truly be solo. A lot of times we like to go out solo backpacking and we end up camping next to people, and I do actually really love that, but sometimes it's good just to see what it's like to be all by yourself in the middle of the wilderness. So come along with me as I show you this cool little area, the trail, my setup when we get there, and should be a fun little adventure. This right here is an old cattle holding pen where they used to hold the cattle, and they would graze cattle out here a long time ago. They don't allow it anymore, but the ranchers used to graze the cattle in this area. There's a water tank. I don't know if the sun's gonna let you see it, but right up there as well. This here is First Water Creek, and during the winter and when it rains quite a bit, this will be running in a nice stream. There's actually not as much water as I thought there was gonna be based on all the rain we've had, but there is still a pool here. It's pretty stagnant. And so if you needed water, you could grab water, but I loaded up on water since our hike is not very far today. So pretty cool though, always to see water out here in the desert. A lot of little tadpoles in here. Well, I've heard the frogs and seen the frogs before in the past when I got my kids, and we are looking around this area, but man, look at all these tadpoles. They actually have little legs as well, some of them, and they're just hopping up on the rocks. We'll leave them alone though. Man, there's so many. Look at all those. In the winter when this is flowing, you got to ride up on the side here, along here, and stay up away from the water. This is the only way through this canyon, right up on the ledge here. It has cooled down a bit here in the shade of the canyon, so I was banking on that shade and we got it. All right, it's raining pretty hard out that way on the other side of this mountain. You can see the rainbow right there, but I'm gonna pick it up a little bit to get to camp so I can get the tent set up just in case it makes it over these mountains. I'm not sure if it'll hit us, but do want to be ready. Here's one of the campsites. It's a smaller campsite. You can fit a pretty good sized tent here, but you couldn't probably bring a group in here. There's a nice little cave thing right back in here. Little fire pit. Let's just go look at the little cave so you guys can see. There you go. So kind of a fun little area. We're getting very close to the spring and where we're gonna camp, but I just want to show these cliffs. And I've actually hiked up along these before, just checking things out. But we are surrounded by some pretty cool canyons. Another little spot where people camp. I know a lot of hammock campers used to come in this area because there's trees, but when the fires came through, I don't know if it took out some of the trees, it looks like. So I'm not sure if they will be able to hammock camp in this area anymore. I'm sure there's still a few trees though that they could use. But right here is where kind of like it starts again, where it's green and the fire didn't really come in. I don't know if they created a fire line or did a back burn or something like that, because right around the spring area, it looks great. It's like the fire didn't even come in this area. So kudos to them if they did protect it, and kudos to God if God just had the fire go right around it. So the spring is right back in there behind this big cottonwood. You can see it. There's like a kind of a hole in the rock up in there. I'll take you guys and I'll show you the spring in a little bit, but we're gonna continue on. Right up here is where the campsite is, and it's just right here, so I will keep us rolling. And here we go, big area. There's a slant to it right here, but I've seen scout troops set up big areas in through here. But so we got a nice fire pit, which fires are not allowed at the moment. And I will be setting my tent up right here under this nice tree. So right in this area, and the creek's right down there, but of course it is dry at the moment. But welcome to camp, welcome to home for the night. It's a nice area.
On today's backpacking trip, I am using the Nemo Hornet one-person tent. It's one of my favorite tents because it's very compact. It can fit directly into my backpack, including the tent poles. It's considered a semi-freestanding tent, but as you saw, I can pick this thing up and move it around to the perfect spot. To shape and hold the foot end of the tent, it does need to be guyed out, because there's only one center pole that runs down towards your feet. It's a small tent, so if you're someone that likes to hang out inside your tent and have ample room, it's probably not for you. But if you use it just for sleeping, I think it's a great one-person tent. And someday I'll probably do a full review on it.
All right, we've got the tent all set up. I think the storm missed us. I don't see any indication that it's coming this way. The wind's died down a little bit. It's hot. I am hot, having a little bit of liquid IV electrolyte to keep me going. All right, so I wanted to show you what a warm weather sleeping setup looks like. So I brought my lowest R value sleeping pad, which is the Nemo Quasar. I can't remember exactly, but it's 2 point something, I believe, pretty low. So I shouldn't get too warm on this, but it's also really comfortable. I do like this pad quite a bit. So we'll be using this pad. And then I also brought this little quilt that I got several years ago. It's called the I Climb 3M Thinsulate Camping Blanket, and it's made by 3M. And I got it on Amazon, and it's just a really easy 1 pound sleep quilt that you can take for like an extra blanket, is kind of why I got it for my kids before we had really good sleeping bags for everybody. I would bring this along with us in case someone got cold. But I'm actually just gonna use it tonight. I don't really think I need a blanket, but it could get, you know, a little cooler as we come early in the morning, but it's expected to be around 75 as a low. So I won't probably need it. I just don't want to be super sweaty on my sleeping pad. So I'll put it down, and if I need to wrap up in it, I will. This is really cool. It actually can cinch up at the bottom and you can button it up so it's like a sleeping bag, or it can just be a blanket. And you can also make it like a poncho, so it can cinch around like a poncho. So it's a pretty cool, versatile little camp blanket that I'd recommend if you're looking for a little extra blanket. I would bring it if it was going to be really cold, even though I have good sleeping bags and stuff. Sometimes, you know, you just need a little extra to stuff inside your sleeping bag or something. But 1 pound, pretty light, pretty effective, and so it stuffs into its own little bag here. So this is what I'll be using tonight. As far as pillows go, I do have my Thermarest medium-sized cinch pillow, and this is by far my favorite pillow that I've ever used for backpacking. It is a little bulky. It is a little bit more heavier than like the Philo, the Nemo Philo pillow, but it does puff up and it feels just like a regular pillow in my opinion. And as a side sleeper, I just need a little bit more loft. I just need it to kind of tuck in around my shoulder and put my head down on it. So that will loft up over the next little while. And I also brought the Nemo Philo Elite. Now I haven't used this in a long time. This was like one of the first pillows I got, and I didn't realize Elite meant very lightweight and small. I thought it meant it was gonna be better than like the Philo, original Philo pillow. So I've used it a few times, didn't sleep good, but it's been a couple of years since I've tried it, and I've got some hopefully bigger, more complicated backpacking trips coming up this winter. And so wanted to just try it tonight just to see if my memory serves me correct, if it's gonna work or not. If not, great, I've got my other pillow, but I just want to give it a shot because it is a lot more smaller and lighter than my other one. I know I can stuff some other things underneath it and stuff to bring it up, so we'll see. I'm just going to give it a shot tonight. See that frog jump in? That was cool. There are frogs, you can see them living in there. So the water in this spring is pretty clear. If you really needed some water, I mean, you could go for it and maybe get back there a little bit and get some of that water. But this spring is perennial. I've never seen it dry. It always has water. And as we get into winter, some of this like greenery around the outside will start getting really nice and foliage all over, and it looks really pretty. But it's just been a hot summer. And a lot of times there is water coming out of this pipe from the spring, but it's pretty dry right now, so it's not moving out, but pretty cool spring. This is a fun family favorite hike that we do. We probably do this at least once a year or so. During the summer, it can be a little bit of a sketchy area because this is like a water hole for a lot of the wildlife around here. And I just turned around and wanted to show you. Here is actually a carcass of a dead fox right here. So I'm not sure what happened with this, but that is pretty sketchy. I can even smell it, kind of nasty. So dead fox, you can see its jaw right there and its teeth. So a lot of times the springs out here will attract a lot of wildlife. So since it's rained in the last few weeks and we got those pools along First Water Creek and other areas gather water, hopefully we won't see a lot of wildlife tonight near camp. But anyways, pretty cool area. Just wondering what that stench was, and that is what it is. It is the dead fox. There you go. Let's head back to camp. It's gonna be a nice night. I'm so glad that this area didn't burn down like a lot of the area around us did.
As I got back to camp, a giant tarantula hawk flew out of the tree above my tent and landed on the ground and was hunting around. This video is from far away, so it doesn't look very big, but I bet it's close to 3 inches long. It's the largest tarantula hawk I've ever seen. I wanted to show you guys one of my secret weapons when camping out in the heat. And if you look closely right above me, bam, I got this fan. It's got different speeds and it pretty much runs most of the night. So there it is. She's gonna hang right above me and blow nice, cool air, give me a little vent. So I'm excited to use that tonight. Hopefully it keeps me cool. All right, it's almost 6:30 at night, and so it's time to get dinner going. I have the fire maple petrol pot. So this has become my favorite pot to use while backpacking because it's super efficient. It has that nice snapping lid. And then for my stove, I use the Windmaster. I got the Windmaster here and then the Triflex to go along with that, and it fits the petrol pot by Fire Maple really well. You just pop that on like that. And then the petrol pot just fits right on top perfectly. And so it's a great match there. We'll get that screwed in here. There we go. And then in my food bag, I know you're all excited to see what I'm eating for dinner. I hate when people skip over this part. I'm like, what are you having? What are you having? So tonight I've got the garden mac and cheese from Farm to Summit. And this actually has like 700 calories and somehow it's got 30 grams of protein. And so pretty impressive. It doesn't have any meat in it. So maybe through the vegetables and noodles, they're egg noodles, I believe, somehow we get all that protein out of it. So I'm gonna try this one. I'll let you guys know how it is. So let's get this going. Is it just me, or do you guys also really love the sound of the burner? I love it. It just reminds me of backpacking, camping, and so every time I light it, just music to my ears. Fire maple's nice. It kind of locks into place, so it's not going to fall off of your stove at all. All right, we will let that soak for a little while. I don't need the insulated pouch because it's hot out here, so hopefully this will get nice and hydrated. All right, 20 minutes later, we got it all prepared. Oh, wow, look at that. Nice and cheesy. It's a white cheese in there. You can see the vegetables and take a look. Oh, let's go ahead and take that first bite. Here we go, bon appetit. Okay. This is probably one of the best mac and cheeses I've had in the freeze-dried category. It's really good. It tastes just like you want it to taste with mac and cheese. The vegetables aren't like heavy vegetables. It's like, I feel like I can see like some kale or something in there, but it's not like a lot of vegetables. You can even pull the vegetables out beforehand if you're not a vegetable person. I think my kids might actually like this one a lot, minus the vegetable part. Probably even more than the rainbow pasta that they make. Maybe it's the same cheese, I don't know, but I like this one better than the other one. I'm trying to remember what that other one tastes like, but this one tastes better. So anyways, this is a win. Coming again with me at some point after I try all the different freeze-dried meals out there. It's such a big challenge, but I hope to get there someday. But try this one out if you want. You can go to our website and pick it up, backpackinggrub.com. And we do have this one in stock at the moment, so you can grab it for your next adventure. I've finished dinner and I've prepared the Trailtopia strawberry cheesecake. It looks really good. Take a look here. It's got these crumbles that you add after you've made it. And I'm hoping that that cold water has kept it cold so I get some nice cold cheesecake. But let's go ahead and take a bite of that. Here we go, bon appetit. First time trying this one. Oh. That's good. It's actually pretty thick too. You really gotta dig in there to get it out. Maybe I could have added a little more water. I didn't exactly measure it. It needed 1 cup. I eyeballed it.
But it's thick, it's good. It's like cheesecake. It's got chunks of freeze-dried strawberries in there that have hydrated pretty good. Oh yeah, it also has chocolate chips or something in there. I can taste it. That is really good. I would do this one again, 5 stars on this one as well. It's been a good food night. I'm gonna finish this up. It's getting dark around here. It's so quiet. I mean, you can hear all the birds, every little rustle, every little twig, the bats are flying around. But should be a good night. It's finally starting to cool down a little bit. I'm still a little hot. I'm definitely changing my clothes before I jump into bed because I feel a little stinky, but I'm excited for the night. I'm gonna finish up my dessert and start wrapping up around here at camp and probably head into the tent in a little bit. But we'll see if the stars come out. We're still pretty close to Phoenix, so I don't expect a super dark sky, but these cliff walls, they just kind of echo the birds and stuff. So I know when I wake up tomorrow morning, it's just gonna be loud with birds. I can't wait. Anyway, I'm getting ready for bed after dessert. It's about 7:30, so probably another hour. It was a win for food tonight.
The fan is seriously a lifesaver. Oh my gosh, it is essential when it's hot out. Guys, it is still about 86 degrees and it's past 8 o'clock. So it's gonna be a warm night. I don't know what time I'm actually gonna go to bed. I had to come into the tent because with my light on, the bugs were just swarming me and they were little biting gnats. So I'm in the tent, it's a little warm in here. Not a lot of airflow unless you've got the fan. So, very happy I brought the fan. I'm just gonna hang out in here. It's a little past 8, probably till 9:30. I'll just chill. All right, it's just after 9 o'clock. I've been just hanging out in the tent. Still a little warm inside the tent. Outside, it's about 83 degrees. So it is dropping slowly, but inside the tent, I'd say it's 3 to 5 degrees warmer than that. I thought about just taking the fly off, but I'm just gonna leave it on just in case. But still got my fan running over here. The fan has just been really nice. It gives me nice cool air to my face. 2 fans would have been perfect. You know, one for my lower half of my body, the other for the upper half, but fan's a lifesaver. Anyways, I'm going to bed. Starting to doze a little bit, so just got out, went to the bathroom one last time, and I'm turning in. Good night. We'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We made it through the night. Wish I could say it was an awesome night. It was a long night, not a bad night, but it was hot. Most of the night I was pretty sweaty and sticky. The low right now is about 75 degrees, so it's nice right now. I actually pulled out the quilt that I brought for like the last hour. Didn't probably need to. I mean, it's not cold, but it just kind of feels nice to have something over you. So I just pulled it out because I brought it and wanted to try it out. And this quilt is pretty good. I say it probably would be good down to like 65 degrees or something like that. But the fan, I turned off the fan about 2 hours ago because I didn't need it anymore. But it is probably the champion of the trip. I'm so glad I brought this. I'm so glad I bought it. It's pretty cheap. It's not even halfway through the battery, and it went at least 6 hours, 7 hours without stopping on the low setting. The brand is Gokera, and shout out to Rob Outdoors. He lives in Florida, and he brings the fans, and he recommended that one, and so I tried it out, and it was amazing. I think anytime I think the weather might be a little warm, I'm bringing it. It's not very heavy. I'll put the stats up on the screen here so you can see it. Just got it on Amazon, and so I'd highly recommend a little fan. It's got its own battery. It has a USB-C charger, and so pretty light for what it is. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and so I'm gonna just start packing up before the sun comes up and it gets too hot. I'm not that hungry. It was a kind of a long night, kind of a hot night, and not sure if I'm going to even make breakfast. I might just pack up and get out of here before it gets too hot. But yeah, it was an all right night.
I just saw a huge bullfrog. I mean, this thing was probably like that big. It was giant. I just heard some like rustling going on. I'm like, what is that? A little squirrel, chipmunk, something like that. Kept looking around, and finally I saw it right about 5 feet from my tent. But really cool. It was huge. That was the first time I've seen a huge frog like that out here. I heard owls last night. The birds are starting to chirp as the sun's coming up right now. We had almost a full moon last night, so it was pretty bright. I actually got up around 2 a.m. and went out of the tent and just to kind of cool off a little bit and went to the bathroom, and it was like almost daylight. It was so bright. So that was kind of neat. I ended up pulling my fly off at that point because the skies are clear and it's fine, and I just needed that extra airflow so I get a little sleep. But I slept okay. The first 4 or 5 hours, I was probably up every hour just because it's kind of hot. But as the night went on, it cooled down gradually. But I'm going to start getting packed up, and I'll give you my final thoughts on my way out of here. We don't actually get a lot of bears out here in the Superstition, so I don't do a full-on bear hang. Usually if I can find a little tree just to hang the food on, it's mainly for the rodents and skunks, but just hanging on a tree usually works good out here. All right, we're all packed up. It's almost 7 o'clock. I'm just doing one last walkthrough on the campsite and making sure I didn't leave any tent stakes or anything like that. We're looking pretty good all around. Someone did leave this frying pan up here at some point, so I'll just leave that there. If it's there later on, I'll grab it because I come through here quite a bit when I go hiking. But camp looks good, camp looks clean, and we're heading out. All right, so just kind of a recap. This was just a trial run of camping and backpacking in warm weather. It was probably around 95, maybe close to 100 when I got going yesterday, so pretty warm start. The other thing is it was humid because it's been raining and kind of monsoony, so I'm not really used to the humidity. So it just made it super sticky out. And so I'm pretty sweaty and gross feeling right now. When you make a hot meal, it doesn't taste great when it's super hot out. It was 80 degrees plus for most of the night, eventually dropped down into the 70s and landed about 75. That being said, I did sleep okay. That fan was a savior, as I've said many times already. If it wasn't for that fan, it would have been a rough night. But that did help out quite a bit. A part of me over the summer wanted to go out and do a really hot camp, when it was in the hundreds, and I'm so glad I didn't. I don't enjoy camping. Most people don't when it's really hot out. Would I do this again? I might do it again, but it's not my favorite thing to do when it's hot out. But it's been about a month and a half since I've gone out on backpacking trip. We've been camping quite a few times. We went to the Grand Canyon for 3 days and camped at the Mather campground. And so we've been camping, but just didn't get on the backpacking trip in. So just want to slip this in real quick. And we've got more backpacking trips coming up. Hopefully, if weather holds up, I'm doing Cabin Loop here pretty soon. So that'll be fun. I'm doing that one solo, but there'll probably be people out on that one. Like I said, solo is not always solo. This trip, however, was very solo. I was the only person probably in the Superstition Mountains. So anyway, we're heading out. The views of the morning are awesome in the desert. I love the mornings in the desert. You can see I'm in the middle of the creek bed here, First Water Creek. And look at this canyon around me. It's so beautiful. So we're heading up through this canyon. There's a lot of trails and loops and things in this area, but we're gonna head up the canyon. This is my favorite route just because it's a more pretty route. But I'm gonna wrap up here. It's been a fun, quick backpacking trip overnighter. This is why I love living in Phoenix. We can just come out. This is maybe 40 minutes from my house just to drive here. And so quick backpacking trip overnight after work, home before kids' basketball games and stuff. And so I'm gonna head right up the canyon. I appreciate you guys following along. And if you wanna see more backpacking trips, more gear reviews, food reviews, follow along, make sure you subscribe. We appreciate all the new subscribers. And if you're like me and get out all the time, I hope to see you guys on the trail.